Alright, so we had to leave my father's house. So we gotta finish our renovation up in Mississippi, which is good because it's given me a chance to take the RV on the road. And we went up 75 in Florida to 10 West, and it was quite a learning experience. About halfway through, there was a lot of wind that picked up, and I wasn't ready for it, and white knuckled for about an hour and a half. We're at a gas station, so that way I can just kind of get my bearings, take a rest, and eventually I'll get used to it. But first time dealing with it, it was definitely eye-opening for sure. My heart's racing right now, and my hands are numb. But all is good, all is intact. My wife was behind me in the Fiat, and we're gonna grab a bite to eat and rest for a bit. Alright, so we just stopped to get gas. And inside here, this line, right here, right there, is falling apart at the gas tank. I got the gas tank full and I started hearing gasoline pouring out onto the concrete, stopped, crawled underneath, and found that what's holding it together is old rubber. That's probably what it should be, but it's just falling apart. So now I gotta get this 8-inch piece of rubber replaced soon. I can't believe this. Okay, so when we were at the gas station, I noticed that fuel was spilling out everywhere underneath the coach. The reason being was this hose right here was starting to rot out right next to the gas tank. And it was coming out of this. This hose is a vent hose. So after driving around to different auto parts stores and getting no luck, a lady recommended me to a truck and trailer shop, and I walked in with this and they knew exactly what I needed. So anything that's over a half-ton truck, what they say for these vent hoses, you end up needing the bigger guys like this. The auto parts stores weren't familiar with a motorhome, so that's why I was struggling to get a part. But I just needed a new length of hose that I'm going to replace, and I'll use the same hose clamps, and that'll solve that issue. Thankfully, it was a $3 fix versus me going in and trying to buy a whole brand new fuel filler setup, just so that way I can have this piece working. So I'm going to go ahead and change this out now. Alright, so today we're going to start working on the composting toilet. So we're going to remove the old toilet, see what the floor situation looks like. We got to lay flooring in there, and we also need to drill through the floor for the exhaust vent for the composting toilet. This project is probably going to take anywhere between 8 to 10 hours. I'm giving myself some buffer room because this is my first time doing any sort of installation like this. So not only that, but we have to find 12-volt power within the coach somewhere that we can tap into, so that way we can run the exhaust fan in there. So the actual installation of the toilet itself probably will be pretty easy. It's just all the other prep work around it that's going to take some time. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, this is what happens when you don't take care of things. I got a rusted bolt on the bottom of this toilet I cannot get off. And I put penetrating oil on it, and I'm letting it rest. It still isn't coming off. So, word to the wise, take care of your stuff. Okay, so brute force is not getting this bolt off. So I'm gonna have to destroy this toilet with this guy so I can get it off. Because that rust is so penetrated in, there's no way I'm getting it out. So we're gonna just kill the toilet. Okay, so jigsaw failed. Had to get a drill. Just so that way I can get the toilet off. Because that bolt is corroded and it won't come off. I tried PTFE. I'm sorry, I tried a liquid wrench on that and that didn't even work. So I had to go hardcore and do something really strange. This toilet will never be used again, but it needed to come out. So now I've got to get that out so that way I can lay down the toilet. That took about an hour of time just to try to get that done. Okay, so working on replacing hardware in the bathroom and for the bathroom cabinet drawers, and I went to a local home improvement store to pick up some new hardware because the brackets at the back were broken. However, the hardware I picked up is long and I didn't see anything shorter than this length at the hardware store, or I didn't look hard enough. So in the interest of this roadblock, I'm going to cut this so that way it'll fit, because I really don't want to make another trip just to or order something online. I'd rather get this done. So I'm not pressed for time. I just think that I need to modify just in the interest of keeping things moving along, because we're hitting a lot of roadblocks. They're all small, but they're manageable. But you know, I think it's important to be creative in situations like this. So that's what I'm going to do with this.